Running a campaign for D&D, or any tabletop game, can be challenging. Between remembering the rules, keeping things moving, and managing the other players, it can be overwhelming. It's easy to get lost in all the little details, or be discouraged by tough moments at the table. Whether you're bogged down in a difficult session, or reflecting on the game afterwards, here are some DMing mottos I've picked up over the years that can help you refocus on what matters: having fun. A lot of these I learned from other members of our tabletop community, so I'd love to hear more in the comments. Without further ado, let's get started. Here's something I wish I'd heard when I first started DMing. You're going to have bad sessions. Maybe your players go way off what you had prepped, and the game feels messy and chaotic, or that combat encounter you were really looking forward to fell flat. Sometimes, for reasons in or out of your control, a session just doesn't go well, or it was fine, but didn't live up to your expectations. Whenever I'm feeling like the game could have gone better, I try to remember my first motto: not every session can be your best. By definition, only one session can be the best you've ever run, and sometimes going for perfection can keep you from focusing on all the good that happened during game night too. Most sessions, good or bad, will have at least one thing that you can improve on, and one thing that you can be happy with too. Instead of wallowing or beating myself up, I try to take some time to reflect on what went right or wrong, and really analyze not just what could go better, but what did end up playing well at the table. Most of the time, you'll find things weren't as dire as you might have thought, and instead of being down about a lackluster game, you'll be excited to prep for the future. Maybe only one session can be your best, but good is usually more than enough for a lot of fun. Failure is a part of D&D, and can often lead to some of the most fun and wild moments in the game, as your party scrambles to deal with the consequences of their mistakes. But not every failure affects the story equally. There's a big difference between the villain spotting you while sneaking into their lair and rolling too low to open a door, but nobody's around, so you can just try again. So I try to keep these words in mind while playing. Fail forward. When the players fail, it should still move the story forward, just not in the way they were hoping. Rolling again and again to open a locked chest isn't fun, but having a petrifying gas emit from the lock on a failure, now there are real stakes and a new problem to solve if they don't succeed. Or if they try to break down a door to get through, instead of a failure leading to the door staying shut, they might knock it off their hinges, alerting nearby guards. If failing a roll won't do anything to change their circumstances, why bother rolling at all? Not only does this keep your players on their toes, but it'll prevent the session's momentum from grinding to a halt as everyone waits for their mass rocks to hit the magic number they need to move on. It's much more fun that way. Your game's world does not have to revolve around your players. They don't need to be the chosen ones of legend, destined to save everyone from calamity, kingdoms bending to their will, the forces of nature shifting on the roll of a dice. Having a world that your players can change, but still carries on without them is perfectly fine. But that being said, the story absolutely should. My third motto is simple: your players are the main characters. This is their adventure, and so they should 100% be its main focus, and get a say in the direction that it goes. Why is the party being tasked with slaying the dragon? Because you're playing a game with them, and the story should accommodate that. Before you add in powerful NPCs who solve all their problems, inundate them with long lore dumps, or come up with scenarios they have no chance of affecting at all, remind yourself why you're playing in the first place: to tell a story together. So let them be the stars. This next one has been around for years, but still rings true. Beyond being the stars of the show, most players want to feel like the awesome heroes they wrote on their character sheets. It's good to challenge your party and force them to earn their victories, but sometimes they want to flex all the cool stuff they can do too. So remember, shoot your monks. If you're not familiar with the phrase, monks in 5e have a feature to let them catch range attacks and even redirect them back at the shooter. So some DMs will avoid ever making range attacks against them, which does make the fight harder, but it keeps the monk from using one of their coolest abilities. Instead of always targeting your players' weaknesses, leaning into their strengths will give everybody a chance to shine, and make it more impactful when you do target the areas that they fall a little short. Not to mention, you will be accused of metagaming if you constantly avoid triggering their character's abilities. And you are, so that's valid. Last but not least, a classic. I love D&D. If you're watching this video, you probably do too. But not every group is going to work for every player. Whether you clash with others in the party, their style of play doesn't match your own, or you just aren't having fun, you might end up in a situation where playing just isn't that enjoyable. So always keep in mind the old saying, no D&D is better than bad D&D. That's not to say things can't get better. It can take some time for a new party to gel, or a fledgling DM to find their footing. That's totally fine. But if you're consistently not having fun when you sit down to play D&D, and nothing you've tried to remedy things is working, it might be time to pack it up for a bit. There are lots of players and DMs out there with a whole spectrum of games and playstyles. You'll find one that works, but the longer you wait to make a change, the the longer it'll be before you're back to having fun. Those are just a few of the mottos to help me stay in a good headspace to run the game, but I'd love to hear what little phrases and tidbits you found useful in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leaving a like is always appreciated. If you want to see even more, you should subscribe to the Bard's College. I make videos all about D&D, DMing, and everything in between, so stick around. But for now, good luck, and remember, crit your players.